10:10 a.m. It's 86 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Y'all, I don't know if 2 hours is enough today. There is so much to discuss in the world of football. Obviously, baseball and softball going on as well. But, Tom, let's start with music. How was Saturday night?
Saturday night was awesome. We had a fantastic crowd. They had a great night at Strings. Our 2 new songs went off great. We were really pumped up. It was a great night. Yeah, it was really
Where
great.
Where did they set you up there?
Near where they brew the beer.
Oh, okay.
So it was wide open space. It was great. Plenty of room for everybody. Plenty of room for people dancing and hanging out. And it was a really good crowd. Yeah, it was fantastic.
How'd the new songs go?
They went great.
You haven't practiced.
Yeah, we didn't. We actually, that was the first time we played What I Like About You, and we did it more like a rock type version.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did Roadhouse Blues by the Doors, and we hadn't everyone practiced on their own, and that was the first time doing it. And it went off pretty well. So yeah, we're playing Sunday at Monkey's Uncle in Jack's Beach, so we'll be hitting those songs again, hopefully. And that'll be our only time. We're not practicing during the week.
It'll be fine. I got a text on Saturday night from one of my friends that went, and she's like, "Where are you? I don't understand why you're not here."
That's funny.
But we were going fishing Sunday morning, yesterday morning early, and so
this is what I can't figure out. I go through like 3 or 4 shirts because I sweat.
Right.
None of my bandmates sweat at all. Like they're barely sweating, and I'm like, I mean, you're moving, maybe not moving around as much, but they're
not rocking out hard enough, I guess.
They need to up the sweat ante, maybe. That's so much fun. And you know what's great, if I may?
Yeah.
So Christina and all 3 girls went.
Love
and
that.
some of a lot of their friends, and the 3 girls danced to one of the tunes. So it was pretty cool. They came up as a trio.
Oh, cute.
Danced for a little bit, yeah. They didn't dance for those songs, but yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a good time. It's a good time. Overall, it was one of our better nights, to be honest. We played pretty well overall. The band was pretty tight. Had a couple, we all like I forgot a verse. Oh my gosh. Don't you forget about me. I forgot the whole second verse.
No.
But I just made some stuff up, and then we got back on track and eventually figured it.
You got it back. We're good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, anyway.
Well, that leads us perfectly into the breaking NFL news from this afternoon. As far as Jared Verse, he's not forgotten, but he is moving on, going from the Los Angeles Rams to the Browns, and the Rams are getting Myles freaking Garrett. So the Rams have definitely pushed all their chips into the middle of the table, and they're trying to win the whole dang thing.
I'm a little envious. I'm a little angry.
Yeah.
I just oh my gosh, I can't believe the Rams are getting Myles Garrett. Now, granted, Jared Verse is a great player.
Yeah,
Jared Verse is a
Jared
great,
I would take him.
Great player. But man, Myles Garrett coming to LA, and he's like, "See you later, Cleveland."
That's what Jared Verse is like, man.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Why me? Why me? Send the other guys.
And it's a perennial loser as a franchise, right? It's how people used to feel about Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But they saw the problem and they went out and fit. And it wasn't Jared Verse, but they upgraded their pass rush, their D line. They upgraded their secondary, McDuffie and Watkins. I mean, that's like, here's your problem.
Yeah.
Let's go find a solution. And now, granted, they truly are in. We got to win now.
Yeah,
you got Matthew Stafford for
couple
what?
of years, maybe.
Say 2.
And this could be it if they win it all.
Right, if they win it all. So they're pushing all their chips. Yeah. I'm envious of that because that's fun. And now you got one of the greatest quarterbacks. You got one of the greatest receivers.
Pass rushers.
Pass rushers. You got one of the best DBs in the game now. It's just awesome for them, for them. But this is the approach is different. Here, we're not going that approach. We had plenty of opportunities to go that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could say, well, you could have went and grabbed Trey Hendrickson, maybe up the ante with Max Crosby, maybe involved. Maybe they were. Who knows? Maybe they were talking to Cleveland. Cleveland's a partner of theirs, so I'm sure I would imagine get a phone call that, hey, would you be interested? Or that kind of thing.
Gladstone was on the phone today at OTAs.
Yeah, he was. He was on the sideline working the phone. So maybe there was something there. But look, at the end of the day, the Rams, they're going for the Super Bowl. I don't blame them. Well, you give up everything for a Super Bowl victory, won't you? You'll mortgage the future. You give up the farm because you could say, you know what, we're Super Bowl champs and it was worth it. And now we'll start unloading everybody and try to get back there another time.
Well, and that's what I mean. This is the smartest organizations are the ones that do exactly what the Rams are doing now, in the sense of they saw the problem at the end. You lost to Seattle twice, one at the end of the regular season and the postseason, because you lost 38-37 and 31-27. So you allowed 30-plus points to the Seattle Seahawks both times you played them, one being in the postseason that knocked you out and ended your season. And so you realized that defense was an issue. And we talked a lot about the secondary, and they fixed that, obviously, getting McDuffie and being able to kind of revamp their secondary, which I think is huge. But then you already have a good pass rush in Jared Verse. Jared Verse is one of the better run stoppers when it comes to defensive ends in the league too. But now you add Myles Garrett, and there's no, like, you're adding a player who is just a game wrecker. And I think that immediately, to your point, Tommy, this is them saying, we saw the issues in that at the end of the season and in the postseason, and we directly went and fixed the things that we felt would have changed those games. A Myles Garrett in a 1-point game at the end of the season, that could be the game changer that you needed. You know, one sack to stop Sam Darnold or something towards that down the stretch when it comes to those close games, and you feel like that's what you needed to change, and you did.
Well, and think about, like, so you got Verse and the other guy, is it Jones on the other side of it? Byron Jones, right?
Young.
Yeah, or Byron Young. Yeah, both of those. I mean, bookend guys. You upgraded your secondary. You could get by with, you would think, like McDuffie's an unbelievable corner. Watson, who came in from KC as well, like, he's a good safety. Like, you've upgraded your secondary. That was the problem. You have a pass rush. Braden Fisk's a good inside rusher, but that's not enough. It's not good. Like, it's just, to me, that whole mindset of saying, like, because you're looking at two young, really young and Verse, two really good young defensive ends that are only going to get better. You think, and you sit there, no, we need more. We
need the guy
we
that
need
has
one more. We
over
need
125 sacks.
I know,
I
know. But you're mortgaging a lot. But whatever. But that's my whole point. Like that's just ferocious. We are going after it. And we're going to take care of it. And Super Bowl, here we come.
And like you said, their window is closing, is what they think as far as quarterback is concerned. But they did pick a quarterback in the first round of the draft, right? Yeah. And so, in Ty Simpson out of Alabama. So maybe in 5 years, looking back, if Simpson ends up, replacing Stafford, they could not be in a closing window. Yeah. But because they have no idea how good Simpson will be one day, they are going all in.
That's what, to me, it almost makes that move look weirder that you drafted a quarterback there, because your whole thing, everybody was saying, you never have a first round pick, and you have one, and you're that close to being in the Super Bowl. So why not pick a player that was going to impact your team right away? And there were several there in the middle of the first that they could have gotten some really good players, not obviously a Myles Garrett, but now it makes almost less sense, because if you're that in to give up, to mortgage this much, Jared Verse, a first, and that says and more. So we will see. Right. Also, I saw the financials, by the way, which is absolutely insane. So the Browns' dead cap from this, they'll have $15.3 million in dead cap in this year and $24.9 million in dead cap next year. They're saving $8 million in the cap savings this year and $2.8 the following year. The Rams, though, the cap hits this year, it's only $8.1 million. In 2027, it's 16. In 2028, it's 21.3. In 2029 and 2030, $57.9 million is the cap hit for Myles Garrett in the 29 and 30. And then the deal ends in 31, which is a void year. But when it comes to the guaranteed money they have to pay him, it's a lot of guaranteed. 73.2 fully guaranteed through 2027 is part of his contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just, sometimes you scratch your head and you go, how are other teams able to finagle
keep having this money?
Right, because they're paying Stafford, just like obviously the Jags are paying Trevor. By the way, a little bit of Jaguars news. They signed defensive tackle Quinton Bohanna. He was originally a 6th-round draft pick by the Cowboys in 2021. He has played for both the Cowboys, the Lions, multiple teams, Titans, Seahawks, and Packers. He's appeared in 40 games and totaled 44 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 quarterback hit. So interesting stuff there. Obviously, we were all out at the Jaguars OTA earlier today, so we'll certainly get into all that. But it does feel like maybe there is one more splash move. I say splash. They haven't really done any splash moves to this point, but it feels like there's a splash move maybe remaining for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think
we'll at least get hopeful.
I think it depends. So, like, I was watching the 4 young defensive edge guys, right? The two young guys in dirt. They're all 4 young. Danny Strigow, B.J. Green the second, and then the 2 young guys this year, Wes
Williams
and Zach Durfee. I'm watching all of them in those drills and out there. They've got some really good talent. I think B.J. Green the second.
He looks great.
He looks so natural rushing the passer. I think he could be a guy that you could utilize. Wes Williams, I was thinking earlier, like, he reminds me of, like, so he's not flashy, but he's like, do you remember, like, an Alfred Williams from Denver? Just kind of a long, rangy, just works hard and can get to the QB. Has some bend. Durfee's athleticism is pretty impressive. I mean, and by the way, Roro's feet are quick as all get out.
He does look quick.
Holy cow. And he can flip those hips, no problem. He can bend around. So if he can bring some juice inside. And then who else am I thinking? Oh, and then Strigow. Strigow, same thing. Natural, quick feet, good bend. I think those 4 guys, man, they're going to be interesting if you can keep all 4 somehow.
So if they work out, obviously the splash move wouldn't be what a lot of people had thought all along, was like get a veteran pass rusher, like a Jadeveon Clowney, one of those guys that's still out there, right? But it may be that they end up having to pivot to something like running back. I know they already signed Amir Abdullah, but we haven't seen Chris Rodriguez in a Jaguars uniform to this point, obviously, yet. So I do wonder if it's something more along those lines.
I think they're just kind of, at least for the pass, they want to see more and see if they can go that route. And look, it comes in cycles, too. This is the Rams' year to go for it. We're not going that route yet, but we're still building. And who knows, maybe we build enough foundation next year or even later this year. Who knows? We might be in a position where, like, you know what? This guy's available. We're going to go get him. We got enough cash. We're going to go pay him. And boom, he, brings us to that next level of contender per se. Because
and they did that last year.
What's that?
They did that last year with Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to that point where they said, "This is what we need
something else.
We need a guy to catch the ball."
Can he catch?
Yeah,
and that's why outside, when we've talked about the criticism from the outside when it comes to on paper, that's why, because we're talking about, okay, which of these young guys year 2 can make a step up when the other competitors, when it comes to the Bills, when it comes to the Texans, when it comes to the Ravens, when it comes to now the Rams, they all made big splash moves to change, whether it's the running game, whether it's a wide receiver, a pass rusher. All of them made some big, huge splash move, and the Jags didn't do that. So that's where the criticism comes from the outside. It's like, these teams are already really good, and you're adding a Myles Garrett to an already really good team. That's hard to beat sometimes. So you, not saying it doesn't work, because if one of these young guys does take a massive step, and then you're like, wow, we didn't have to go spend $50 million in a few years, on a yearly salary, and you get one of these young guys to be able to develop under Coach Camp. We'll see if Coach Camp is here beyond this year, because if it goes the way it did this last year, it may not, in the sense of him getting another job. But I do think that's where it comes from. So you just have to hope that what they see is right, and these guys continue to develop.
You get envious. I mean, you do. Like this, I was just going through, like Cincy revamped their D-line. Their whole D-line's new. And with guys that, Dexter Lawrence, Jonathan Allen, who one time was a really good tackle, could be a really good tackle. Boye Mafe, nice year last year. And then the kid out of Texas A&M, Cassius Howell. They just said, okay, swipe clean. Now, looks good on paper. Doesn't mean it's going to equate to, chemistry and everything on the field. But I think that's when people on the outside and fans look at it. They're like, well, wait a minute. Look what they're doing. Why are we doing?
And their names that people know, right? Like household names. No one in America outside of Jaguars fans know who B.J. Green and Danny Strigow are. That's just the reality of it. Maybe they will. Right.
Yeah,
maybe they will.
Yeah.
But I guess the good news is, if Cole Van Lannon is not ready for week 1, you're not going to see Walker Little then at left tackle go up against Myles Garrett, because obviously the Jags play host to the Browns week 1. So Jared Verse will be here.
But and he got Trevor last year.
Yeah. Jared's good. He's a really good pass rusher. So
he's one of the ones that it's always so crazy. He started his college career at Albany. Albany. And then that's how Mike Norvell got him out of the portal, went to FSU and had the season that he did. But
he's a late bloomer.
That's very possible.
He's really good against the run, too.
Yeah, he is.
Really
physical. Very physical dude.
All right, tons more Jaguars football to get into. You are listening to a Big Chief Tire Monday. It's 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Aye, Captain. You're sailing on the Jaguars flagship station. 1010 XL. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Installed by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
The Florida Gator baseball team remains alive for a Super Regional and a shot at the College World Series, but they'll have to survive against Troy tonight after the Trojans swatted 4 home runs against the hometown team to set up a 6 p.m. first pitch tonight for a right to move on to the Super Regionals. But pitching is a key concern for the Gators, surrendering 33 runs in 3 games during the regionals.
Jeff Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup, and that's why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. If you want it done right, the first time, get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
Big Chief Tire Monday on helmets and heels.
After attending a Saturday bumps and bruises clinic by Southeast orthopedic specialist, my son's hip and shoulder issues were diagnosed quickly and he's back playing. As a busy family, we really appreciate their prompt attention.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Best Bet St. Augustine's Ride to Riches giveaway is getting close. The action continues now through August 7th. Every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a brand new side-by-side 4-seater all-terrain vehicle. Get to Best Bet St. Augustine. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com. And we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
My name is Savannah, and I was looking for a way to track my fitness results in a tangible way. I chose DexaFit Jacksonville because I wanted real, measurable results. After one quick DEXA scan, I knew my exact body fat, muscle mass, visceral fat, and even bone density. No guessing, just data. It gave me a clear baseline so I can now set my goals and track my progress with a lot of confidence. If you want real insight into your body, I highly recommend DexaFit Jacksonville. Book your scan today at jacksonville.dexafit.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
If you own or manage a commercial property or HOA, one backup can quickly turn into a flooded parking lot and costly damage. Duck Rooter's VACCon team brings the equipment and experience to get the job done right. Right now, get $250 off VACCon service and make sure your storm drains are ready for heavy rain. Keep water moving where it should, away from your property.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Come over here, sit next to me. You can see what they Let's go naturally.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. By the way, it is Texas 4, Tennessee 1. They're in the bottom of the 6th in the Women's College World Series. They're in Oklahoma City. And then the team that I dislike plays later tonight, by the way. I actually had to root for Tennessee as Tennessee was playing Texas Tech.
Okay.
But Texas Tech ended up staving off elimination last night. And so Texas Tech plays Alabama at 7 p.m. tonight. So, yeah, they're flying through it there in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. I watched a lot of college baseball.
Yeah, you were telling me that at practice
it was
today.
Pretty cool.
6 p.m. tonight, by the way.
Florida
Troy.
Yeah, I'll probably have it on just to
6
check
p.m.
it out.
tonight. There's multiple games tonight, but
There's
that's
some
the one
really
I care
good
about.
games.
There has been
Especially if you
some,
like hitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of runs the last couple
Florida
days.
Saturday night against Miami won 22-10.
Yeah.
Now Friday when we last left y'all, it was in the thick of that Florida Rider game,
Yeah.
and that was a super intense game that Florida ended up winning. But of course, then Florida lost to Troy yesterday, so 16-10.
The crowd gets you pumped up, man. They get into it. A lot of the hometown teams, like West Virginia, they're in their hometown.
Yeah,
right?
that one was crazy too. That game was
good.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry.
Any walk-offs?
Can I just ask a question?
Go for it.
What's with that when you're running the bases with the mitts? What are you gonna carve up your hands? Like, what is this stuff?
Yeah, they don't want to sliding. It's their sliding gloves. I know, my grandpa gets so mad about that. He's like, why do they have elbow pads and sliding pads and this shin pad and this pad? And I'm like, okay.
Like, give me a break. Like,
it does look like an oven mitt.
Yeah.
It does. And it looks a little foolish in my book.
Well, I just hope that Florida needs those a lot tonight and scores a lot of runs. And I still don't know
started that trend.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I still don't know, by the way, who the starting pitcher will be for Florida. People are assuming it'll be Colton Walls, but we shall see.
And who do they play? They play Troy again?
Yeah.
They do, okay.
Yep.
Some of these schools, man, they just play baseball pretty well, I guess. You know what I mean? Like different schools,
Oh, absolutely. All over the country.
Yeah.
Like you saw, there's another game tonight between the two teams, but Milwaukee and Auburn, that one's at 6 p.m. also tonight.
Yeah.
Everyone was shocked that
Milwaukee rolled them, didn't they?
the first game.
Yeah, first game.
But Auburn, like I said, a 4 seed. Okay, so a quick update on Florida State baseball.
Yeah.
Last I had checked, Florida State was up 2-0, but St. John's has now plated 5 runs. So it is 5-2 St. John's over Florida State in the top of the 7th. If St. John's wins this game, FSU is done. If FSU wins this game, they'll play again this afternoon. Yeah, so
man, they're playing back to back, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's been drama in a lot of them. You've got the Coastal Carolina head coach is complaining about stuff that Florida was upset about last year with all these rain delays, which are inevitable. It is incredibly ironic, and I promise we're about to get to Jaguars football, but it's incredibly ironic to me that the northern teams have to come south in the beginning of the season, but then usually the southern teams end up hosting these regionals when the weather is so much nicer in the north and we wouldn't have the weather delays.
I was about to say, you would almost think they'd flop that a little bit to where they would do something just where, like, here's where the regionals are, or at least super regionals, whatever the case may be, where it's like, a host site every year, and it's in one of those cities where it's still like 65 and sunny every day. And
but they won't because home field advantage.
So,
You don't want weather to get in the way of baseball.
But it sure does.
It does. Yeah,
I mean, the Miami game on Friday night was pushed to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
for the Miami-Troy game. It's late nights, that's for sure. All right, Jaguars football today, OTA number 4, the second one that media have been able to go out and view. I heard you join Jaguars today earlier today.
Yeah.
And, I think the offense, there's a notable difference in how much Trevor is throwing the deep passes in practice. Noticeable difference.
Yeah.
And then I would say great up tempo, and I felt like they actually did more interesting things today than just like running around in shirts and shorts where most of us get pretty bored. I was not bored by today's practice.
No, not at all. Actually, I kind of walked away feeling pretty good about practice. You know, it was good energy. They're flying around. They're definitely big, strong, and fast. I mean, there's no doubt.
Josh Van
about
Allen is definitely bigger, muscle-wise, and Camp talked about that after practice.
I said this when he walked by. Eric, I mean, he reminds me of the Game of Thrones guy. You know, whoever that guy is in Game of Thrones, bigger than everybody. Like that, he reminds me like he should just be destroying everything. If he can stay healthy, man, I hope he can.
Because it's a lot of big guys on that line, and he still stands over all
by a
of
lot.
them. Yeah.
Like you're just like, holy cow! But Josh Hines Allen looks good. Trayvon, the young guys like I spoke about. So their D line look good. I love that they're taking shots downtown. He was really good with Parker. He hit BT a couple times in stride. He did hang one up in the air that got picked.
Yeah.
It was a duck, yeah.
Which you never see Trevor throw those.
He just threw it late. You just got to throw it early. That's all. Let him run underneath it.
But it was a great pick by Monteric.
It really was. Yeah, it was a great pick.
But then Trevor got him on the next one.
He
got
did.
Buster.
Yep. And he had a real nice one to Brian Thomas. Beautiful throw. Had to run under it to catch it. He looked really good doing that. But Jacoby over the middle, nice and smooth, easy. I love when you're at an angle, you can see all the routes developing where Trevor's looking, and then he just lets it rip.
So Parker with a few good ones too. Love getting Parker mixed in there still.
And the defense did really well. In 7-on-7, that first one, our defense really they actually won that first 7-on-7 matchup, I thought. They were playing pretty well, making plays on the ball. That one deep throw to Brian Thomas, the DB was right on him. It was uncontested, so he didn't hit him or anything, but he was right there. I know the coaches were going nuts because they were talking. I don't know if you guys heard all. Hey, he kicked. Yeah, I love it. So it is. Listen, they're up tempo,
and the coaches are coaching them hard.
They're coaching them hard. They're flying around. They're getting after it. I love the defensive line drill that we were watching with the pads, where they had to turn and turn. And I was talking to Lageman about it. He's like, the only thing I'd like to see is it be more upfield than lateral, because you're always trying to, and it made a lot of sense. But I loved watching the last part. We got to bend around that last bag to get to the quarterback. And you see some guys just flawless, so smooth. So, man, if that could come to fruition, that'd be great. Cozio made a nice play over the middle.
Yeah, he did, and no Nate Borkacher in team. He's out there, but off to the side. So that was an interesting development.
Yeah, but Cozio showed some wheels on that one. He's not a blazer, but, listen, if he could be a catch and run guy, that would be a nice weapon to have. But,
they love the tight end. You see, every play, and I was surprised a little bit. Both Patrick Herbert and Hunter Long were in there more than I would have thought. But again, without Borkacher, and so then that limits them just a little bit.
I thought Tootin's run, that when he took off, man, he shot out of a can. You're like, man, I can't wait to see that. Jamari Taylor had a nice little scoot. Now, granted, you might like bump the running back, but you're not really trying to tackle him. You don't want him to just go by you without you, letting him go by. You don't just let him go by, but he had a couple nice cuts and then shot right up the middle, and he showed some wheels too. So, it looked good overall.
Yeah, we were talking about the running back position group earlier. Like, he may end up making this team if there are some,
Yeah, I mean, Rodriguez isn't out there. Now Abdul is not out there. So, hey, you make the most. They're definitely intrigued by him. There's no doubt, because he's got that little twitch, could we use him in the open field? He's fast enough to break free. If he's got really good hands, which they say he does, he can block on blitz pickup, which they say he can't. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fit somewhere.
If, let's say, God forbid, LaQuint Allen got hurt, you're putting a lot on LaQuint this season with everything they're going to expect him to do, because I think he's going to be the one that replaces that pass catching that ETN had.
Well, he will. I agree with you. The only difference, Taylor's got more shake. He's got a lot of shake. And I think Quint's more just speed and power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
he's
run
not
a guy over.
Yeah, he'll run. But Taylor looks like he almost could play in the slot. You know what I mean? He's got that kind of speed and quickness and whatnot. But however those guys work together.
Sure.
But yeah, he and again, when those other two are hurt, man, you move up. You move up that depth chart because they're not out there.
Well, you definitely need depth for Bashal Tootin too, because obviously last year you had that 1-2 punch. Taylor, what did you think of special teams today?
Yeah, good. Lots to watch on the special teams. No, I don't even know if we really got to see much special teams. And I think that's one of the things you have confidence in is, when you talk about Ross and Logan and Cam, I saw immediately because the one thing, obviously Cam dyed his hair. It's like bleached blonde. Yeah. So that was a lot of the chatter on the sideline, which I thought was kind of funny. And then we posted from the 1010XL page his hair, and the media, like, one of the first quote tweets of that was, we love his personality and how Cam is, but he was like, but I'm not going to forget that missed field goal right before or after half. I'm trying to remember. It was right in the playoff game. So those are the moments we've talked so much about, that final game and what sticks out in that game and how that bleeds over. You win 13 games, but the most recent thing you remember is losing to the Bills and those moments that led to that. And how do you fix those things? But it was funny because I was like, this guy makes like 70-yard field goals. And the first quote tweet was, you missed a playoff field goal that, you know, it ended up could have been tying or winning the game.
Correct. Because the Jags lost.
I mean, that is true. True statement. I mean, he still had a great year.
Yeah.
But, you know, look, it was that was.
He had a rough patch in the middle, but then it came back on.
He came back strong. Yeah.
I want to say he missed a couple against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to listen. We know the greatest kickers that have ever played for the Jags always been clutch, and you need that playoff kick. You need it. You got to have it.
You can make every single one during the year, but if the one you miss is the playoff one that keeps you in the game, that's where that's what's going to show at least.
Right. And there were other ways they should have or could have won. But look, you go the 4th and 2. Now, granted, you would expect if we didn't go for it, that Cam would make that kick. Right. Even though he missed one, I would still give him the benefit of the doubt that he would have made that one. Yeah. Right. And not be 2 misses.
I'm in the press box, so I don't know this, but I think I told y'all someone that I know that was at the game, the Bills game, said that there was a gust of wind right before that one missed field goal. I think it was right before the half. So, but again, let the wind go by and then kick it.
We have some windier cities people have to kick in
for sure.
Yeah, and he was working with, in the pregame, I'm sure, unless the wind came in at halftime. I don't know. Whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, you just got to. He knows it. He knows. He's a big boy.
I mean, you have a guy that has one of the biggest legs in the NFL, and there, like I said, there was that little rough patch in the middle, but then he was you felt like he locked in. Yeah, and anytime, that's one of the most dangerous things to have right now, especially with how the return with the new return and all of those rules changes. Get to the 50 almost, and you feel confident in Cam.
And to help. Is his case a little bit like he changed when he nailed that long one before half? Was that the Raider game?
It was the Raiders game.
That changed momentum of that game big time.
Yeah,
that was like they went nuts after that, and then they came out on fire. And now, granted, they let them back in, which shouldn't have happened, but at least they came out on fire because of that. So you could give him credit for at least helping that momentum off on that run of wins, because we needed that kick big time.
For sure. But yeah, people are always going to focus on the negative, right? Like, or some people are always going to focus on the negative, which I understand.
Playoffs.
Correct. Yeah,
think of Bill Buckner. What do you think of Bill Buckner? You think about missing, but he was one of the greatest hitters and first baseman, but nobody thinks about that. They think about the drum. What was that? The Mets? Was he a Cub or a Met?
He was a Cub.
He was a Cub when that happened? Yeah.
That was all that. That was Melissa Salou. That whole thing was cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed. What's not cursed, Big Chief Tire, you can find them online, WeKeepJacksRollin.com. Right now, they've got the Extra Mile program, and what you get, free tire rotations with every visit after your tire purchase, $10 off every oil change every time, and lots more good stuff. You can find one of their 6 locations around town: West Side, South Side, Blanding, North Side, Mandarin, and Orange Park. More to do on the other side, including Liam Coen talking about Brian Thomas Jr. Keep it right here, Helmets and Heels, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards in points at Fletcher. I hear Coil also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coil Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
It's Men's Health Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you that early detection matters for prostate health. If you're over 40, now's the time to get checked. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. So don't wait. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Summer is finally here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the summer. Hicken here. Don't let rising gas prices stop you from having a clean and healthy home. Zero Res is keeping comfortable affordable with a powerful cleaning at a price families can feel good about. Zero Res can handle every surface in your home. Carpets, tile, grout, hardwood, laminate, upholstery, rugs, air ducts, and more. Take 25% off all services except air duct cleaning. That's $5.99 per system for air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special.
The Jaguars Foundation is hosting an intimate evening of community and conversation at the Sports and Culture Speaker Series presented by Miller Electric. Join us June 3rd for dinner, drinks, and conversation in the Miller Electric Center. You'll hear exclusive perspectives from Jaguars head coach Liam Coen and general manager James Gladstone as they talk culture, leadership, and building a lasting legacy on and off the field. To be part of the conversation, visit jaguars.com/community/events.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Somewhere someone's blessing the rains down in Africa, but it's sunny here in Jacksonville, FLA. All right, tons of text in on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010 if you want to get in on the action. The gloves in baseball are to protect the player's hands so that way those spiked cleats do not tear
Break
their
the
hands
hand.
up as mess up their flesh as they are sliding into the bases. Tom still doesn't like it, but just
I do. I think there's a lot of. I think it protects their fingers too when they're sliding from not breaking like on the bag. So I do think they have a multitude of reasons, but it's kind of like now with the more information and technology you have of how to protect the player, like how we see the helmets change and stuff like that. Granted, that's like for concussions, but it's just gotten to the point where they're like, oh, we can avoid broken hands if we just add this to it. And not everybody wears them. So it's kind of like the Guardian helmet in the sense where some people are like, yeah, I do want to protect my hands. And some are like, whatever, I never did before. So why do I start it now?
I wonder how many jammed fingers and broken hands and wrists they had back in the
Probably
day.
A lot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
sure they were always
never
playing
hurt
with.
my hand rolling into second base.
Really? Did
They Pete Rose style? Who didn't go ahead first?
I would guess they would always have jammed and broken fingers. They just didn't care back then. They also played with full games with concussions and didn't care either.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Were you playing with metal cleats? Like metal
I don't
spikes?
think so.
Probably not.
No.
That
But
they
I'm sure. Pros were.
All I know is I've got a baseball game at 6 p.m. tonight.
That's what
all
she's worried
I know.
about.
That's for sure. And Bill Buckner was
The
a
Red
Sox.
Sox. Yes.
I was thinking of Alex Gonzalez. He was the shortstop that messed up the play in that same game. That's who I was trying to think of.
Another text from the text line Design My Lifetime Enclosures.
Curses run together. The curses all run together.
Exactly. They thought Cleveland had a chance in that opening game against the Jags, but now that they don't have Myles Garrett, they think the Jags will win.
Yeah. I thought they'd win anyway, but at least you get rid of him. But Jared Verse can give you a problem. He can give you a real big problem. So
absolutely.
He gave us a big problem last year.
Yeah.
So,
another text, just stop sliding head first and slide the traditional way feet first, and it won't be that big of a problem.
Yeah.
So
that's part of what I was about to say, too. They slide way more head.
Yeah.
And I don't know the numbers. I don't know percentage, but they definitely do.
Yeah. Pete was the man at it. I got interviewed by Pete Rose once.
Trevor Lawrence slides.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, down in his old restaurant down in Boca.
Okay.
It was awesome. He had
That's super cool.
his big restaurant, and I was there with my mother and actually an old teacher friend of mine and Pete Mitchell and somebody else. He's like the GM or somebody came by and said, "Hey, someone said you guys play for the Jags." We're like, yeah, like Pete wants to talk to you. We're like, "No way, Pete Rose." He's like, "Yeah." So we went into his little studio in his restaurant. And it was awesome. He was really cool, man. He was a great guy.
I've heard that from everyone who's ever talked to him.
But all I remember is him going head. I mean, because when we were kids, everyone went head first because Pete Rose did it.
Yeah.
And he would like fly like through the air like Superman. It's probably on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And you always love dirtying up the chest of your
You're not
jersey.
leaving a game clean back then.
Yeah. You didn't play if you didn't get your thing dirty.
There was a soccer game we had in high school, and my coach was upset with us. And so she literally took like a fistful of dirt and threw it on one of my teammates and was like, "That's what your jersey's supposed to look like."
Nice.
You were like, okay.
Try that today.
Yeah, no way.
That coach
would be in big trouble.
Yeah, that coach definitely wouldn't have had a job in today's day and age. That was just one of many things. All right, Liam Coen, speaking of coaches, talking about Brian Thomas Jr., asked about the conversation surrounding BTJ's setback and disappointing season last year.
I think that anytime you have I guess, quote unquote, setback. I don't know. I mean, I guess fantasy and people care a lot about that, but I know we won 13 games. So I'm sure if you're a competitor, I know you want your stats and your contributions to be at an all-time high. And yes, that is a part of this. It's a part of the puzzle. But the ball gets spread out in this offense. To multiple different players. It doesn't really just feed through one person. So, I think that's something that he had to work through. We all had to work through. And
you were basically kind of mocking the whole, not disappointing season BTJ had, but just the fantasy, when you're an NFL head coach, you don't care at all about someone's fantasy team.
Yeah. I mean, he dropped the ball 10 times. So I think you do have to worry about that and be concerned about that. That's way too many drops for somebody now this has switched because it was interesting, and this is what stood out to me. The conversation last year was this offense runs through Brian Thomas Jr. And now it's like, no, we have so many people, it's not running through Brian Thomas Jr. So that didn't work, and you had to switch your plan. And obviously midseason, bringing Jacoby Myers in here was that first step of saying, hey, what we thought could possibly work on this offense isn't. And that's Diami and BTJ at that moment and some of those things. And Britton Strange get hurt. So things started piling up a little bit, but you definitely altered that. So then not only now you do have Travis Hunter back in whatever way you want to use him offensively, you have Jacoby Myers with this full offseason now. Hopefully you get this rebound from Brian Thomas Jr. You had Parker Washington play like a complete freak this last year, and so now you can count him on this offense. So it did go to something last year where it's like, wow, you have this athletic specimen that had a ton of touchdowns in college and had this crazy rookie season. Let's just funnel everything to him. So now saying you have a lot of options offensively, and obviously you add 2 tight ends into this draft. And so it did. It's funny how 1 year's time it's flipped so much to being like Brian Thomas Jr. everything to, oh, he's just a piece of a lot of things on this offense at this point.
Yeah, well, look, agreed. That's the first thing I thought of, and then you think of, they had to make Brian in a role where he's best suited, which is to stay outside. He's still going to work some inside patterns, there's no doubt, but he's not going to have to do as much as an inside receiver would inside of traffic. He's still going to have some traffic. So that's part of the Jacoby Myers, right? Jacoby comes in and solidifies the inside of your passing offense. Strange is out, of course, but he'll be back. P. Wash is emerging, but now you got a guy that is your go-to somewhat over the middle in a crunch. I got to have it. He's not in traffic. Yeah. I can do that, which allows me to get Brian Thomas on the outside. And what's his best? His best is speed.
Yeah.
It's not strength, although he's strong, but it's not going over the middle and hard catches and making those tough catches. It's still running the digs over the middle, but that's with clearing everybody out, making sure he's got some open space. You'll see him do the low crossing pattern. That's to clear him out and whatnot. So I think that's what was smart, not only because of the injury to Travis Hunter, bringing Jacoby Myers. This solidifies the inside. We got our outside guy. We think he can do it. This is his year.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a good year this year, I'd be surprised that they kept him around. Because it's got to click at some point. Like, first year, great. That was then. This is now. It doesn't mean anything today. So if you don't have a good, and it's not pressure, I'm just saying, like, in general, if you don't have a year that they can count on you to be that threat, and what do they want them? They want that deep threat. Because you know what it does? It opens up everything else when that safety has to be aware of that number one wide receiver and Brian Thomas getting past him. So there's some coverages called where that safety's job is what? Nobody behind you.
Yeah.
Nobody behind you. We sent him deep. He's got to go. He's got to go with them. You know, if they're in that certain coverage. And then what does that do? Here comes a crossing pattern around 18 yards, and P. Wash, Jacoby's wide open because BT cleared him out. And then if the safety doesn't do that, you take a shot. As long as you can throw it on time, get it out in front. So that's the hope. That's on the paper or on the, the pad. You're like, this is how it should work. But I think that's what they're trying to figure out. Now that they've got that inside solidified, throw in the tight ends.
Yeah.
Now we can let's get this outside threat really working and down the field, which they feel that Trevor's really good at that.
Especially if you think that there's a slower safety, or if there's a guy that you feel like you can target.
Double move him. Yeah, absolutely.
That's when you want to do that. By the way, it is St. John's still 5, FSU 2. So one person on the text line, Design My Lifetime of Closure, said go FSU. Go St. John's baseball.
I agree.
And so I'm just passing that along. I did not say that.
Yeah, the announcers yesterday were talking about St. John's. There's like 4 different schools. They're like that kind of tier that are they're really good baseball programs. I forget who else it was. They're names that if you threw them at me, I'd remember. But they were one of them. St. John's was just they just are known for good baseball and they're showing it. Different. St. Mary's, I think, was one of them. Was it St. Mary? I don't know. Whatever. It was just that, not the big names, but that smaller school type. That's just good at baseball. Maybe they're all the kids that don't go D1. They go to these other schools and play some really good ball.
And props to those schools for continuing to be able to do that, because now with the way the college sports athletics work, I know they're getting plucked. I've shared this on here before. When my brother was coaching at Western Kentucky, he said that was the hardest part, because you'd recruit, you'd find these stars, and then they transfer to go get paid somewhere or to get one of the bigger schools. And then you have to do it all over again that same year. We talk about that a lot with JU and UNF and their basketball and baseball programs and how people pluck their players. And then you have to find that. And then you have to instantly find a way to replace stars every single year.
Yeah, some of the best mid-majors in baseball this season, Southern Miss was one of them, Coastal Carolina.
I was about to say, I would guess Coastal.
Jacksonville State and Liberty, all teams that we saw.
Yeah, Liberty was one of them.
Mid-majors. So, it's still obviously Division I, but a little bit smaller, and that's obviously, like you said, that's what they call JU and UNF when it comes to men's basketball. All right, more to do on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Get Florida Gators play-by-play on 1010XL.
It's win or go home for the Gators with a super regional bid on the line. Florida and Troy in the Gainesville Regional Final. Tonight at 6 on 1010 AM.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing you down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Helmets and Heels.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Hicken here, or maybe you should call me Dreamfinders Danny. Look what Dreamfinders is doing again, an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Coen floral arrangement. JJ here with Sensen XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at CoenFlowers.com.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Fine Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Southwest Greens is the OG of artificial turf in North Florida. Stop mowing and start chipping or putting or just relaxing with a beautiful backyard, maintenance free. Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I want to thank our friends from Daly's for sponsoring our Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic, June 8th at Deer Creek Country Club. Now get this. For every fried chicken sandwich sold between now and then, Daly's will donate $1 to Walk-Off. That's right, for every single fried chicken sandwich sold between now and then, you help a young person in the community play baseball. So head to Daly's today and grab one of those delicious fried chicken sandwiches. And we'll see you at the Daly's Walk-Off Golf Classic, June 8th. Daly's. It's nice you're here.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Quick update in the softball world. Texas finished off Tennessee 5-2. So then we'll have a game again tonight. Alabama, Texas Tech comes up at 7 p.m. And the schedule showing Tennessee, Texas will play again at 3:15. So if that's the case, then more power to them.
Yeah, good luck.
They're in Oklahoma City. I wanted to get to Travis Hunter quickly before we get to Tom's take. Just wanted to let people know he is out there, just like last week with the first OTA that media could attend. And it looks like he's heavily invested into everything that's happening on the offense nearby the huddle, and then kind of tries to emulate the rep as much as he can in the limited fashion. But he's definitely not your just like, oh, I'm injured and I'm not even a part of the team right now. Right. Not like that at all, which is great.
He's involved.
He's kind of antsy. You can tell, like, he wants to be out there the whole time. And it's even when they would do certain plays, if they're like having any sort of motion, he's like switching the side of the field with the offense and doing all of that. So he's definitely like, I want to be participating so bad. And at least he seems, we've talked about this before, it's good when you're not seeing them in braces or having to, you don't see a limp or anything like that. He's running, you're seeing all of that and it looks natural. And obviously we've chatted about it on here before. It's just now building that up to where you can make the cuts and do all, and you be able to take some contact and stuff like that. But it's fun to see him just still be as involved as possible right now without being able to physically be out and running with the drills.
No, he's without the brace and everything. No, he's bounding. You can tell, man. That guy, I can't wait to see him back out there, all healthy.
Like Taylor said, I'm sure that's exactly what he's thinking too. Is like, yes, I can be out here, but I wanna be a part of this. By the way, Josh Hines Allen tweeted, a trade was crazy when it has guys huddled up talking about it when it's time to go home. And then a crying, laughing face, # madness. So when certainly NFL breaking news happens.
The offensive line were like, whoo! Yeah. No, Myles Garrett week 1.
You got that right. All right, time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial #law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this beautiful Monday afternoon is it looks like the Russell Wilson project is over. He and his brand will be taking his services off the field and joining CBS as an analyst. I bet you he's a pretty good analyst.
Yeah.
You know what? I liked him at one time. I thought when he was in Seattle, man, I thought he was just unbelievable. Obviously a very talented guy. I always felt like his brand became more important than his play on the field. He was always, perfectly done up in the right pictures at the right time, and the bracelet and the watch and the briefcase and just everything. And I always felt like, man, just go play football, Russ. You're so good at football. But congrats to what a great career overall. And I bet you he makes a pretty darn good analyst. Most of those QBs are really smart, and they give you a little inside look that most aren't able to give. And that's my take today, brought to our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or on your cell at #law. That's all.
You start to feel old when you remember Russell Wilson playing in college, and then he's been in the NFL for 14 years.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's something that made me feel old today. Christian McCaffrey going to be 30. Next year. I was like, 30. Holy cow.
Because you watched his dad play.
Yeah. Played against his dad. I mean, it's just wild. Like, it seems like just yesterday he was just a young, and what a year. I know he got comeback player of the year and all that, but man, what a year after. He had the PCL injury. Did you know? I didn't know that. So that was good to see. Similar injury. I don't know that the severity
had
of
all
it.
of the injuries.
He has.
He was just
the 49ers in general. That team, you were talking about curses earlier. It feels cursed. As far as Jaguars on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure, not taking anything away from Parker, but I think Jacoby Myers is going to be the best wide receiver on this roster. I was telling you guys off air, I feel like Jags fans could make the argument for Parker Washington being the best receiver. They could make the argument, yes, Jacoby Myers is, that sure-handed guy. He's always catching the football, and he must create good separation too. Yeah. And then Brian Thomas Jr., and then throw in Travis Hunter, right? Like, that's an exciting thing, for Trevor to have all those weapons. It'll be interesting to see at the end of the season who ends up being more of the go-to guy. And then Brenton Strange, Nate Borkacher, Tanner Cozy, all the list goes on.
Yeah, because I do think that, and it may be fun to do one day where we ask, like, who has the most receptions, the most yards, the most touchdowns, and I guarantee you we would have 70 different answers of how people think that's going to line up. And I mean, we just heard Liam Coen say there's a lot of places to throw the ball on this offense now. So it just kind of, whose day is it? And I could see it being kind of like how Green Bay were for that couple years when they had, it was Watson and Wicks and Dobbs, and every single month it was somebody different who led in receptions, who led in yards. I could see it being something like that because Liam Coen is one of those guys who he's not going to make it obvious. He's going to make it difficult for defense to try to figure out what he's doing, and that's one of the best ways to do it when you don't know who's going to get the ball.
Yeah, I feel like Jacoby's going to lead in receptions, but maybe P. Wash leads in yards. Yeah,
I could see that.
Who leads in touchdowns?
Brian Thomas.
Everybody gets a different one.
No, I don't know. I'm going to say...
truly spreading the ball.
I'm going to say P. Wash will lead us in the receivers and touchdowns.
Okay. And then, you obviously throw the running backs in there, too. You throw Trevor Lawrence in there, too, as far as he can run to get touchdowns, right? So,
What did he have last year? 38 total running and pass? He had 9 and 29?
I know he had 9 rushing.
Yeah,
9 passing would not be good.
No, that would really be bad.
Yeah, it's 29.
29 and 12 interceptions, 29 touchdowns, and then 9 rushing touchdowns as well. You got that right.
Beauty.
All right, more to do on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online, wekeepjacksrollin.com. And again, the Extra Mile program, every tire purchase automatically enrolls you in that Extra Mile program, and you get lots of benefits, and you don't need an app for it. It's nice and easy. It's Helmets and Heels, 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.
Fun and games.
Just say game on and let us play.
Because games are fun. There's 1010XL.
Relive the music of Journey live at Florida Theater with Voyage, the world's premier Journey tribute band. Hear all the hits performed with stunning accuracy and arena rock energy. Experience Voyage June 11th at Florida Theater. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee. My wife and I and a bunch of friends just got back from the farm, and we had an incredible experience. We toured the regenerative farm, as well as the beautiful handcrafted cabins, and were treated to a fantastic farm-to-table dinner created by Congreve and Penn. Man, was it good. Well, you can learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com. And even hear my interview with farm co-founder Doug Davis to learn even more about this amazing property. That's okefarm.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm Chris Wayne with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Florida Gators face Troy in the final Gainesville Regional of the NCAA tournament. First pitch at 6 o'clock, and we'll have it for you live on 1010 AM. The Jaguars conducted OTA number 4 today, and 1010XL was there. Check 1010XL socials for exclusive practice footage and keep listening for updates, interviews, and insights. It's 87 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
That's what I feel like the Rams are trying to say to everybody right now. We will rock you. The Rams, in case you missed it earlier, did trade for Myles Garrett, who had 23 sacks last season. The Rams now have the 2025 NFL leaders in sacks, of course, with Myles Garrett, pass yards and touchdowns, Matthew Stafford, receptions, Puka Nacua, and receiving touchdowns, Devontae Adams. They are, like
loaded.
we said, loaded.
And that's just a few of a lot of good players, by the way. You can continue on with all of the good players they have on that team.
Yeah.
And a great head coach in Sean McVay. That's certainly a great offensive play caller. Yeah, they have a lot.
Their general manager, their running back, their defensive tackles. They're just it's insane.
This is what. Listen, this is your you're paying for a championship.
Yeah.
If it works, it's worth
great.
it.
Who cares?
Yeah, you don't care. But if it doesn't work, you got to go back to the drawing board eventually. You got to pay the piper eventually. But I get it. I think it's brilliant. I mean, I really like Jared Verse as a player. To me, that whole mentality of let's just get even better.
Yeah.
Like, look, we're good here. Like, we're good. Like, we upgrade our secondary. That was the problem. It wasn't Jared. It wasn't Young. It wasn't anybody else.
They were still top 10 in sacks last year.
We're still there. We're right there. No. We got to get even better. We're going to more upgrade. We need a game record, like you called him in the first. You get a game record now in him and Myles Garrett. And to have that attack, we say, I hear what Liam says, we're attacking.
Yeah.
And they are, but this is attacking from a personnel department or standpoint. You're like saying, okay, hey, it's just amazing. I don't know, to say goodbye to Jared, like, hey, Jared, man, we love you, man, but you're going to Cleveland, and
don't
then
like
we're bringing
Jared's
in Myles Garrett.
He's from Ohio, so maybe that eases it a little bit. That
close
he's
to
got
home.
family there, but I know what you mean.
Playing professional football in Los Angeles must be a lot of fun, I would imagine, and good weather and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? But whatever. Look, they at the end of the day, they know what they needed to upgrade to compete with Seattle, to get back into that NFC Championship game, and it was to upgrade their defense. And by far, they upgraded their defense by a ton. I mean, they already did it for the secondary. Now you had one of the greatest, defensive players in the game that could really change games by himself. And you add it to a team that's already got a ton of firepower.
Yeah. The Rams' offensive line this afternoon is probably like,
here we
boy.
go.
I wonder how the odds change.
Makes them stronger.
I wonder how the odds
immediately.
change.
I just saw they're favorite to win the Super Bowl. It's like plus 600 now, the Rams.
Wow.
I will say, like, obviously, the Browns have not been good as a team, and their offense has a lot to figure out. They've addressed when it comes to pass catchers and the receiving side of things. The quarterback's just the problem, and that's what they're going to have to figure out. But he's going to a good defense. At least he's going somewhere where, and you were replacing, obviously, one of the best, and he only had, I think, like 7. I think he only has 13 sacks in his 2 seasons. He's always been more of not that true pass rusher and the run, Jared Verse, that is, the run defender. But you're going to a defense that is good, so at least you're going somewhere where you feel like your side of the ball. You're not going to somewhere where you're like, man, like how the Bengals defense had been the last few years, where you're going somewhere and you're the only good piece on it. There's a lot of good parts to that. So maybe in a sense, you're losing Myles Garrett in that, but a good run defense just got even better with Jared Verse. And so you're just hoping you can stop teams enough to give these Shedeur or Deshaun or whoever a chance to do something.
Yeah.
And you do have
is
to
what
wonder,
their hope.
like, how good was the defense just because of Myles Garrett? Having one guy that can get 23 sacks. I remember when Primetime did, how many Jaguars does it take to get to
How
23
many?
sacks? Yeah, in just one season last year. By the way, it's the top of the ninth for FSU and St. John's. St. John's is still leading 5-2.
Okay.
So that one is certainly coming down to the final few.
The Browns revamped their entire O-line. All new 5 guys. I think they had one leftover backup. Yeah,
Todd Monken obviously coming in there.
Yeah, Barber from Florida, one of them. Seeing what kind of pro he makes, but
Austin Barber.
Be interesting if they get an O-line, and then they got to have the QB.
Well, and it is. That's what if Deshaun goes closer to what Deshaun was in those, like not even because he was playing really good football. So I don't know if you'll ever get back to that. It's been too long since you've been playing. But if you even catch a glimpse of that and you revamped your O-line and your defense can be similar to what it was last year, they could be sneaky good. The quarterback is just their biggest what if, and that's not going to be answered until games start. Obviously.
So think about Todd Monken, right? He gets Jared Verse. He gets a 27 additional first-round pick that may, obviously it's going to be at the bottom of the draft, but give you 2. I don't know how they're sitting next year, but he's thinking, all right, Myles Garrett's unbelievable, but he's one player. I just got here. Let's get another player back that's really good. We like Jared. I got draft picks, a second, a third in years, and I'm building for the future type thing.
This is where they have a lot of quarterbacks, so they wouldn't do this. But this is where someone like Jacoby Brissett, for instance, more of a journeyman quarterback, like if
it fit right there.
Is he thinking, I need more money, Arizona, because otherwise I could try and go start
somewhere else.
Yeah, because right now I'd take Jacoby Brissett over Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, not Shiloh. For the here and now. I'm not saying future. Definitely Shiloh, who doesn't play quarterback. But that's how I feel. I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett is Matt Stafford by any means, but I still think he might be a better option than what they currently have on the roster.
Well, it really depends. I mean, how they're performing, I guess. You only hear the reports. I know Monkey was praising Shedeur about a week or so ago, saying that the mental part of his game was impressive than what he thought it was going to be, like knowing the game, understanding the game and all that. Watson, look, who knows? I mean, look, if he's still got the arm and a little bit of movement, maybe he does get back. I don't think he'll get back to his he was, but all you got to do is hold down the fort. Just don't turn the ball over. Don't screw it up. If you get a running game going, I don't know. You got a brand new O-line, so who knows what happens there. Your defense is really good, but without Myles Garrett, they're still good, but they're not. I don't know about really good. He's just that. That's the game. That's a guy that affects the outcome of every game he's in.
Yeah.
When I talk about putting someone away, in the fourth quarter, a guy like Myles Garrett puts teams away. He just not by himself, because they could double him, but with his defense. But having him there, that's what I'm talking about. You suffocate the QB. You don't give him a chance to even think. And Myles Garrett's that kind of difference maker that's what he's going to do for the Rams.
Yeah, if I asked y'all, did the Jaguars beat the Bills in the wild card if they had Myles Garrett on the team?
All day.
I think you say yes.
We would say yes. Yeah. And that's where, as a Rams fan today, you're thrilled because you feel like your offense was good enough to win the Super Bowl last year.
Offense was great.
Yeah. And Matthew Stafford was insane. I mean, there was a reason.
And your receiver, they loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Well, that's what. So this is 6 years ago, but in 2020, Deshaun Watson had 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 7 picks.
Yep.
So almost 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. And so, like I said, I don't think he gets back to that. I think there's just 6 years is a lot of time there's a lot of not football being played during that. It was injury and then obviously
he didn't
trouble.
Play a snap in 2021 and he didn't play a snap last year.
Yeah. So I don't see it getting back to that. But if they're just like, if we can bottle that and get even pieces of that, if you can get 3,800 yards and 25 touchdowns and 10 or 11 picks, and the way they drafted 2 running backs last year, and Quinshawn was really good, so you continue to have a run game. You fixed your offense. You already have, your offensive line. You already have a good defense. Maybe Todd Monken is like, we have a chance here to get something done, but the quarterback is always going to. He also runs a lot, obviously, like 400, 500 yards every year he's had.
Yeah, well, they got to pay him $46 million this year. So
that's what you want him to at least get something out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacoby Brissett last year, almost 3,400 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Has not always been like that, obviously, and hasn't always even won the starting job. But as we sit here today, maybe it's also my bias against Deshaun Watson, former Texan, obviously, and then all the other off-the-field stuff. So I'd probably rather have Jacoby for the here and now, but we'll let Cleveland figure out their quarterback.
They can have the quarterback drama.
Exactly. And by the way, I mentioned earlier, so Texas and Tennessee will play again at 3:15. So
That's
they
so
just
crazy.
got finished in the Women's College World Series, and they will play again. And then a reminder, Alabama, Texas Tech tonight at 7 p.m. Florida takes on Troy tonight at 6 p.m. You can, of course, hear that game on 10:10 a.m. And I'm guessing, like I said earlier, Cooper Walls will be the starter. I called him Colton because there's a country singer named Coulter Walls.
Oh.
That's what I had in my head. But yeah,
Combine them.
We shall see what the bullpen looks like. And Troy right now is feeling super confident after beating Florida yesterday. Lawrence Lane on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chiefs Tire Monday, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
People get fired.
The Drill.
It's over. I'm gone.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Finished. Over. I will never work for you again.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey, Tommy Mack here for the Armstrong Fence Company, locally owned and operated right here on the First Coast for nearly 20 years, known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service. Armstrong Fence handles it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you're looking for a fence, you can trust the Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Matt and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars to trucks to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
If you've been searching for answers to your quarterback questions, he's the lighthouse to guide you home.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Tuned up by
Encore Research Group
and George Moore Chevrolet.
Preparation for the season begins now. 1010XL's coverage of this year's organized team activities is brought to you by Cash Building Material, Windows Done Right, and Dexafit Jacksonville. Know your body, transform your life.
Summer break means the kids are home and your plumbing is working overtime. If something's acting up and backing up, call Duck Duck Rooter. We've got years of experience and honest pricing that's as straightforward as our fixes. With the Summer Splash Plumbing promotion, receive one free drain cleaning with any plumbing repair of $500 or more. Fix what's wrong, clear what's clogged, and get back to enjoying your summer.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know, the summer is here. In fact, I'm out on a little vacation right now with my family, and that's one of the great things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss. I'll talk about the coaching you get on Awaken 180. You know, some weight loss programs, what do, right? They just send you some shots. They say, all right, work it out. They send you an appetite suppressant, some sort of pill. All right, you're on your own. Not Awaken 180. You talk with your coach. Like my coach, Kate, every time I was on vacation, every time I had a family get together, we worked up a plan. We worked up something for me to follow, and then I would get right back on the program when I returned from vacation. It's one of the great things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss, and it's why I lost over 100 pounds. It's the best weight loss program I was ever on. They know life happens, but they work with you, and it's great. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Soccer fans, Michelob Ultra is going to pay somebody $90,000 to go to the FIFA World Cup 2026 final and bring the Superior Player of the Match trophy. Yes, I'm being serious right now. Got some weight to it. This is the real thing, people. Michelob Ultra, $90,000. FIFA World Cup 2026 final. You watch the match, you get the honor of carrying the Superior Player of the Match trophy. That's a soccer fan's dream come true.
Enjoy the beautiful game with a cold Michelob Ultra, the official beer of World Cup 2026.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
A good season for FSU baseball does come to an end there in Tallahassee as St. John's wins it 5-4. FSU did make it closer. Certainly it was 5-2. When we last left you, they hit a 2-run home run, the Seminoles did. But St. John's able to close it out, and Florida State loses at home in the regional finals 5-2.
At their home stadium, right?
Yeah, so I said a good season, a really good regular season.
Yeah.
I'm sure FSU fans would say right now not a good season because they didn't make it to the Super Regionals.
Right.
You obviously expect to, when you're hosting a regional, you expect to make it to Super Regionals, but that doesn't always happen. We saw UCLA, like we talked about earlier, the number one overall seed hosting, and St. Mary's won. But again, when you play in the Big Ten, that's a little different than playing, say, SEC or ACC. But right now, St. John's is like, hey,
we got it.
We can hang.
We can do it.
We can beat the ACC, no problem. All right, time now to swerve into Lawrence Lane.
Now, Lawrence Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Tickets are on sale for the 2026 Constellation Furyk and Friends presented by Circle K tournament. This will be the first year at Hammock Beach Golf Resort and Spa. They're at the Ocean Courts, which is absolutely gorgeous. The tournament is October 9th through the 11th, and Jim Furyk and his wife Tabitha have raised over $5 million, almost $5.5 million.
Wow.
Good for
since
them.
the tournament began. Absolutely good for them. And then they will have a concert this year with Billy Currington.
Oh,
really?
I love that.
All
Yeah,
right.
so that's at the
Very
Boardwalk,
cool.
which is at 7 p.m. at the Boardwalk on that Friday, October 9th, which is right next to the Ocean Course. And so I think it's going to be
That's really
fabulous.
cool. Is this, wait, it's Palm Coast? Is that where it is this year? Okay.
Yes, Hammock Beach is in
Hammock
Palm
Beach
Coast.
is cool.
It used to be Timuquana, but then from what I heard, the members didn't like having to give up their course for a week or so. And so at least certainly that week and weekend.
Yeah, well, Hammock Beach is nice.
Hammock Beach
it's nice down there.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that'll be a good venue. Jim's great, and his wife. They're both great
Totally
people,
great.
man.
We've gotten to talk to him obviously many a time over the years.
Yeah, he's a cool
And that
dude.
tournament is fun because everybody's a little looser, right? Like it's a little different than the PGA Tour. It's a Champions Tour event, and everybody that goes, I feel like, is in a great mood.
Oh, yeah.
Not that the players aren't in a great mood, but the
Yeah,
players
more
themselves, the
business.
golfers
A
themselves,
little
it's
looser. It's not
much,
so.
absolutely much more serious. These golfers are obviously on the back end of the back nine of their career.
They're just there to have a good time. And that last year I remember we got there, and as soon as we sat down, somebody brought us over some margaritas, and I was like, okay,
Here we go. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And then also in Lawrence Lane, Florida men's basketball will tip off its 2026-2027 campaign in Tampa against in-state rival Miami in the Orion 180 Tip-Off Classic. The game will be Monday, November 2nd at Benchmark International Arena. Florida and Miami will be the nightcap of a doubleheader that will open with FSU Florida A&M.
Okay.
So last year, Miami and Florida tipped off the season
in Vegas.
No, that one was actually in Jacksonville.
Oh, I thought
Florida
it was the
did play
Vegas
Arizona
one.
and Vegas.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they played here in Jacksonville. The year before it was USF.
Yeah.
And then it was Miami this past year, which was super cool. And I did see ESPN has a way too early college basketball preseason poll.
Oh, jeez.
And
Florida's
Florida
one?
Gators are number one.
Nice. Who do they have
Shouldn't
two?
be much surprise.
You
That's a
remember?
good question. I didn't look. I'll check.
Got to Florida.
Not a
That's all
shock
that
there.
matters.
It was honestly a graphic, so I didn't even click on the link. I just saw the graphic, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Let's move right along.
But yeah, I don't think any surprise
care
with
who's
that with
number two
everybody
is.
he's brought back and
All the
being,
money they're spending.
Yeah. Money, but then a lot of guys that
Everybody's
were
back,
questioned
yeah.
about going to the NBA are all ended up returning. You get Aberdeen back, and so I feel like it's
Hopefully.
kind of
They
I
still
guess
have
we're still
word on
waiting for that.
Yeah. So number 2 would be Duke. Number
Okay.
3, Michigan. Number 4, Illinois. Number 5, UConn.
Okay.
By the way, my mom sent me Eric Church's commencement speech from North Carolina
Yeah.
over, I think it was last week, 2
Yeah.
weeks ago now.
Yeah.
But commencement speech, if you have 20 minutes or so, highly recommend watching.
He does it with his guitar.
He does it with the guitar.
Yeah.
He goes through basically, and it's like, so the E string is how he starts.
Strings,
yep.
yeah.
And then, of course, he gets to G string, and everybody laughs.
Giggle, giggle.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's really good.
My favorite string.
Correct, yeah. But he's super talented in general, but it's good. It's just funny. He went to App State, but it's a North Carolina Tar Heel, obviously, graduation ceremony. And I'm like, App State's probably over here like, wait a minute. We are your school.
Yeah.
Luke Combs obviously went to App State.
I was about to say he went to App State too.
An actual App State fan, but yeah, Luke Combs, Eric Church, much.
Is a Tar Heel fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Diehard Tar Heel fan.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
He even one time canceled a show. This is in the video. He canceled a show in Texas so that he could go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And he said UNC beat Duke.
There's a great concert tomorrow night down at the AMP. Black Crows are playing tomorrow night.
Saw that.
How about that? You know who the
St.
Black
Augustine
Crows are?
Amp?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good.
Oh, they're
band.
really good. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see.
For sure. One other thing that came into Lauren's lane, we went fishing yesterday, and I just wanted to give a shout out to the captain, Mikey, for taking us out there. It was a little rough, but still it was a lovely day. Absolutely lovely day.
And
I didn't think it was rough at all, but
That's always
we
good.
limited out, and so that was a heck of a lot of fun. All right, back to the Jaguars practice earlier today. We talked about certainly some key players, some working off to the side, which we obviously have been expecting. Nate Borkature working off to the side was certainly not something that I was expecting, but big picture as far as the defense is concerned. We've talked about the offense kind of wanting to involve that deep pass, that vertical pass a little bit more, but defensively overall, Tom, what were your thoughts?
I think the defensive line is going to be interesting to watch. Especially if our guys can stay healthy. They all look big, but listen, every team looks kind of, if you went to another team's probably like, okay, they're big, they're fast, but they
pads,
do. They definitely, they feel like they're a big, strong, fast team, just from a collective standpoint. I thought the defense in 7-on-7 battled really well, covered really well. Granted, it's, when you're doing these drills on defense, the offense has the advantage. Just they know the play, and you
can't hit the quarterback.
You can't go anywhere near the QB. And linemen are blocking all the way.
Yeah.
So if you get a step on them, it's not like they're pulling on your jersey so you fall on your face. They kind of let you go, and you know what I mean. They're not. You don't want to get your guy hurt or nothing like that. But I thought the secondary looked good. Antonio Johnson looks great.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
You gotta get used to all the new numbers.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, like Jarian was like, what number is he again? Because he went for 20.
I was like, it's a single digit. I know that.
Like, no, that's Husky. That's the new kid. He flies around. He dropped a pick that he could have had. But he was right there. A nice play on the ball, and it's a deep throw. So I didn't see where he started, but he had to come over from the middle of the field to make a play on it. So that's good. I'm really looking forward. I know what our front four can do. I'm looking forward to seeing who that. I thought a row looked good. Like he can really move. He's a bigger guy than I thought. He's not a smaller defense, and he's just not extremely tall, but he's still pretty put together.
Yeah, when I first got out there, I was like, "Who's Liam talking to?" And I was like, "Oh, he's talking to Ruka Roro, number 99."
He's quick, man. His feet are real quick. His hips, his hands, and he looked good. I thought Dickerson looks like a beast. Now, granted, he's the only one with showing his arms off, but he's got some big guns. But they got some players, man.
What do you think about Ventrell?
What's that?
What do you think about Ventrell today?
Ventrell, look, I know Ventrell. Like he's gonna wow you in coverage. He will. I was saying earlier to Mike and Fat Tony, who's not fat. One thing I do like about Ventrell is he does attack downhill. He's not it's funny when I'm watching games and I'll be watching with my family. It could be any game. You'll hear me say, like, come up. And they're like, who are you talking to? I'm like, I'm talking to the linebacker. You can't hang back. You got to go attack. Once you see the point of attack, like your angle, you just got to go. And Ventrell's really good at that. He'll shoot a gap. He'll be aggressive in that. He does make some plays. The only thing I want to see that I think they're going to miss with Devin being gone is beating that running back on a blitz pickup. You got to win those battles. You cannot, when your coach calls blitz, you can't get picked up. And that was one thing Devin was because he was so tall and long, like he didn't go try to dip down to your shoulder level and try to run you over. He tried to make a move and go over you because you couldn't, you know what I mean? You couldn't knock him on his back. It was just because he's big. He's just so I don't see that out of anybody yet.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean. Now, I will say Gardeck started at Sam today, and I think he can play Sam. And I think he can. Sam rushes a lot, so he could be that Sam backer. I'm looking forward to seeing what Dennis Gardeck and how they utilize him. I think you saw him go from the backers to the D line, so he's going to be a part of that D line rotation somewhere. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, like that's like. I've been preaching all offseason, like you got to close out games, right? How do you do it? You suffocate the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So when you see a Myles Garrett trade to the Rams, you're like, oh my gosh, if he could come here, like that's closing him out. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have somebody on this roster, not that they're Myles Garrett, but someone that can help them close out games. They may be there. And those young guys, look, I'm looking forward to seeing the BJ Green, the second, Strigow, Wesley Williams, and Zach Durfee, the two rookies. They're going to have an interesting battle. They all have talent of getting to the QB. You can see it. And they're big and they're strong and they got athletic ability. So if again, like you were saying earlier, Ted, look, if one of these guys ends up being a, whatever number sack guy that is, 6 or higher, to help these other guys, we got something here. And look, let's keep in mind, let's just say Trayvon and Eric stay healthy the entire year. We got a D-line.
Yeah.
We got a D-line. That'll help Josh out. Look, we know what we get out of Devon Hamilton. That's what will be interesting. Like, so you put a bigger tackle on base and then throw Rukier in there and on passing downs, and that quick twitch will mess up those linemen a little bit.
And Albert Regis,
That's
too.
the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interesting. Now he looks undersized defensive lineman. His bottom half is not. I'm not checking out dudes' asses, but I do check out dudes' asses on the football field. Like their legs, you know what I mean? Absolutely. Like their lower half. I want to see how they're built. Do they have power? They gonna if you're smaller, you got to be one of two things: really strong in your lower half of your body, or really quick off the line of scrimmage to do anything against those big guards.
Yeah, the undersize was one of the knocks on coming into the draft with him for the position he plays. It is interesting because I think Liam Coen made a comment, and this was offensively about Jacoby Myers, but he was saying how, Jacoby coming in here mid-season was more so focused on let me get my role down and learn what I need to learn for this offense. And then Liam pretty much was like, now he can expand that and say, what's the overall picture look like for this offense? And so pretty much saying in what he expects to improve in that. But I think you could say that for several of the defensive players too on that side of the ball, when you really feel like mid-season when things really could have started heating up a little bit. Travis gets hurt and Trayvon was dealing with injuries and Jordan Lewis was hurt. And you were just seeing all of these guys in the part of the season where usually everybody starts coming together, not playing with each other or play, not practicing as much throughout. So I wonder how much that too, now that you had this season of just learning your role and Coach Camp's defense, now you can get this big picture, because we saw both offensively and defensively at some points during the season last year, both coaches had to simplify things for these players. And so now you have the majority of these guys back, and there's still some newness because you're, when it comes to Ransaw and some of those guys that you're expecting to play roles, but the main guys are Josh Hines Allen and a Trayvon Walker and Travis Hunter and Jordan Lewis and Montero and Buster Brown and all those guys, now that we're expecting to take these next big steps this next year, have this comfortability of the defense now to where they can say, okay, I get the defense as a whole, and it doesn't have to be so here's my part and here's what I do. It's here's how this defense works with everybody.
No, and once you get to that, then you're powerful as a defense. Like you break it up in the front 7 and the back 7, right? You can't expect your D-line, although they know coverage, like they know it in their head, like, okay, it's to cover this and what I got to do in that situation. But overall, it's that back half that's got to be on the same page. So any linebacker has got to know what the corner is going to be, where the safety is going to be. And once you do that, now you're playing free, right? So I think this defense, look, they should bring some swag, even more swag to the table this year. They got the horses to do it, I think. Where they play, not dirty, I don't mean dirty, but, just a vicious hit till the end of the savages getting after it, suffocating, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We're knocking the crap out of you. We're physical. We're getting our takeaways, but we're getting, we're closing out games, man. We're making you feel our pressure. Hopefully they've got enough to do that. I think they do, but time will tell in that regard. But man, if they hit on some of these guys, man, they should be in a good position. And again, health is everything. you start losing guys due to injury, man. It's hard to keep a team together and keep them productive.
I saw Camp has a new little line that they use within the building, so I'll tell you what that is on the other side, including the golden moment. Yeah, so we like new phrases for sure. It's Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Wide open and pedals sticking to the metal.
The fans have risen to their feet.
This Sunday at Michigan International Speedway.
Holy cow, baby!
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the Wealth Management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. If you love your dad or husband, but their garage is a mess, well, I've got good news for you. Closets by Design Father's Day sale is here. Imagine custom cabinets for tools and beach gear, storage walls that actually organize the chaos, and durable new garage flooring that makes the whole space feel brand new. It's the perfect gift for just about any dad. Right now, get 40% off plus an extra 15% off and free installation. Stop by their showroom on Phillips Highway to see the possibilities for yourself or online, closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Hey, poker players! The Poker Atlas Tour is coming to Best Bet St. Augustine, June 18th to the 28th. The Poker Atlas Tour features 7 events, including the $600 no-limit hold'em title event with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. And event number 1, a $300 no-limit hold'em with a $100,000 guarantee. For more details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
ET here for Service Master Restore. When disaster hits, you need a team dedicated to servicing communities when it matters most. That's why Service Master Restore partners with Hire Heroes USA. Together, we're working to bring the unmatched discipline and leadership of military veterans straight to local disaster recovery teams. Because when everything is on the line, you want the best on your side. Learn more at ServiceMasterRestore.com.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Coen Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is RJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Coen Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at CoenFlowers.com.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, pal. Where have you been?
Out on the town, every night.
Way to go, Tiger.
Well, it's a bit of a mystery, Jason. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm getting all these Visa gift cards in the mail. I'm spending them as fast as I can, but...
Wait, you're getting random gift cards in the mail?
$25, $100. I'm buying drinks, I'm buying dinner. I don't think I'm cut out to be a social butterfly, Jason.
Pal, those are from our Bueller Air and Plumbing referral program.
They are?
Yeah. If you recommend Bueller Air and Plumbing to a friend or family member and they book us for a service call, we send you a $25 Visa gift card as a thank you. And if we install a new system, we send a $100 gift card.
So if I take a girl out and tell her about Bueller, I might get enough to take another girl out and tell her about Bueller?
I mean, it's not the worst idea you've had.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Here's Anthony Campanile's quote that I teased to y'all. We say in our room, trust comes in drops and it's lost in buckets. Trust comes in drops and it's lost in buckets. Talking about the trust on the, obviously for the defensive side of things, the defensive players. And look, I get that. You have to build it slowly over time. Otherwise, you end up with situations where there's miscommunications and guys don't necessarily trust
what
each
is it?
other.
What is this? What does he say again? Trust comes in drops.
Trust comes in drops and it's lost in buckets. Trust comes in drops and it's lost in buckets.
So if you gather the drops of trust into a bucket, it's lost.
So drops are little tiny drops of something.
Raindrops.
So it takes a while to build that. But it's a bucket. If you lose if the whole bucket tips over, it's a lot lost at one time compared to the tiny bit of drops that take a while to build.
Well, he didn't say lost and knocked over buckets. He just said lost.
That's my
that's my
view of it,
your
but
interpretation.
I don't know.
Okay,
Coach Camp and James.
Listen,
beyond my
keep them coming.
knowledge sometimes.
I love it. And I think this could take, or you could just take this and apply it to everyday relationships in life, right? Like it does take a long time to build trust.
And it can be lost very quickly.
Don't kick what
the
should
bucket.
be. Don't there you go. Don't rattle the buckets. Keep it calm.
Yes, absolutely. So that's my golden moment is Camp's new quote.
I love that. I saw one from Brian Thomas Jr. today. I wanted to share as we were talking about him and his role and what you want to, or I guess the expectations for him this season. But they asked, he was asked how he's handled all of the trade rumors this offseason, what Liam Coen and James Gladstone, their public backing has meant to him. And he said, it gives me the confidence that they still have faith in me and still know what I can do and what I can bring to the table. So that's something we've talked about a lot is in those moments. And I think players, you see that, you see when they get rattled to a sense. And this is every sport, every, level player. When it comes to a moment, and it felt like that early last season where the drop happened, drops started happening and they kind of started to spiral out of control. And then, we started talking about the moment where he seemed a little scared to go up the middle. And we're like, oh no, was it that preseason that rattled him a little bit? And now he's scared to do this. And I don't know if that was ever the case. It just looked like that because the outcome of the plays weren't what we saw from Brian Thomas Jr. the year before. And so that's one thing that Liam and James have both been adamant about is just letting Brian Thomas Jr. know they want him here and they have the faith that he can be that player he was in his rookie season. So clearly he feels that from him. And it means a lot, I'm sure, for a player like that. When I think there's two sides of it. And I said this early on, like it almost should be it should build your confidence in a sense that there are rumors of people saying, hey, you're worth a first-round pick that we want to trade for you. So I hope that boosted his confidence in a sense of not saying that Liam wanted to ship him away because I don't think that was ever the circumstances. But hearing that other teams are calling to bring you to their team because they think you'd make their offense better, I hope that builds up his confidence of what happened this offseason, honestly.
Yeah, and it sounds like Trevor and Brian Thomas spent a lot of time together this offseason. So
and they'll continue to do so.
I'm sure Trev, gave him some words of wisdom on how to handle that kind of stuff. It was a great article by our friend Gary Smitter. Great job, of course, Jacksonville.com. And he got him to open up about the drops, which was, he admitted to it. He's got to work on some little things. But I like the fact that him and Trevor have been spending a lot of time this offseason, not necessarily just in the Miller Electric Center or on the fields, but maybe outside of that as well. And
last
I think
year they
that's a
went
good thing.
To the Bahamas. Brian Thomas Jr. was a part of the group that went to the Bahamas.
Yeah, well, they did that video and then they screwed off the rest of the time. I don't blame them. I would have too. Send me to the Bahamas during June. Forget it.
It's so easy for people to criticize, and that's obviously what fans do of teams, right? Like the moment I talk about it with Florida baseball when they're committing errors, like you just want to pull your hair out, right? Like it's so easy to criticize when someone does something wrong. And I think there was a lot of that with Brian Thomas Jr. last year.
Yep.
And there's always more to the story, and we're not always given, the lens by which to see that, but it definitely seemed like at training camp he was incredibly frustrated.
Yeah.
And now at least early on for this offseason, it feels like his attitude has adjusted.
Yeah. And listen, I think what helped too is the QB got better.
Absolutely.
You can get frustrated when that ball's all over the place. And I'm not knocking on Trevor, but before he got it honed in, sometimes it'd be delivered a great throw right on time, and then sometimes you had to make this catch that you're like, man, just hit me when I'm open, So maybe that was part of it. I know going over the middle after a while, you probably don't want to go over the middle for your QB if you don't trust him taking care of you. But it's still
That's
him
when you
too.
lose the trust in buckets.
Yeah, the bucket tip.
Yeah, exactly. Bucket tip. But he picked it up, I guess. Now we're getting more drops in the bucket. It's beautiful. But no, I like that he admitted, like he owned up to it. Like it was his, he had the drops. He's got to get better at it. And I like that they figured it out. And I'm telling you, if they get that connection down the field together, where you always have to think about it as a defense, it's going to add so much to your offense. It opens everything up. Yeah. Everything will open up. Run game, pass game, the whole thing. So hopefully, look, man, I hope it works out.
Yeah. It is funny how a year ago, so much of our conversations surrounding the offseason was about Trevor Lawrence. And I feel like this year, we've talked about him some this offseason for sure. And glowingly for many of the right reasons. But we're not as...
A lot less.
We're not like just every single move that he makes. Like when we were out there today at practice, I bet not one of us media collectively sat there and were like tracking how Trevor did, right? Like
some do.
Maybe some. But like passes completed and incomplete. For the most part, like we just know like Trevor Lawrence, we expect him to take another leap or jump, but we know he is going to play well most of the time.
Yeah, and a big part of the quarterback's game is knowing the offense. And I feel like he's got the offense down and will continue to do so. Dempsey made a good point earlier on. He's like, man, this time last year we thought De'Ami Brown was going to be this super stud wide receiver for us. And he wasn't.
He was in the Bahamas too, by the way.
He wasn't. He ended up not being that guy that we thought he was going to be, So, but the difference is just knowing you could tell he knows where to go with the football. There's not much hesitation in his game.
Yes. Last year, it felt like he and Liam had to have a lot of conversations.
And they were still
after
figuring
plays.
each other out.
Yeah, like this is what I wanted and things like that.
Well, mechanically, he was still working on trying to fix everything.
Do you remember it was around this? Maybe it was a little bit later because I think we just started because we were watching it. And Trevor rolled out and threw a bomb, and whoever caught it for a touchdown. And Liam, walked up to him briskly, and it was a big 5 moment.
Yeah.
Like almost like, all right, you got it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I knew you had it. You could see, he was starting. And it takes time. I mean, look, go back to the Cincinnati game where Liam's pissed off. He's like, man, hit him in the damn chest. Why can't you hit him? He's wide open. And Trevor's like, yo, man, take it easy. I'll get him next deal.
Give me 8 more games. I'll get it.
Then he figured that out. Then he figured that whole thing out.
Yeah, it is obviously disappointing that the season ended with the 2 interceptions that he threw. Like you would have wanted, even if you're going to lose, you still want to go out on a higher note.
Well, and the thing was, I have to go back, but I know one of them was he didn't see the backside safety, and that's been one thing Trevor has had problems with since he's gotten here, and we thought it was over. Right. But he wasn't the only one that went back to bad play. The King, there's other things that happened during that game, but he regressed a little bit in that game. But on the flip side, he also brought him back a few times to gain the lead. So, if he cleans up that one side, he's going to have a monster year.
Absolutely. Well, now at least the Jags have Myles Garrett. Oh, wait, he went to the Rams. Dang it.
Don't get me going.
All right, pest of the day on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
Picture this. Steaks on the grill, drinks in hand. Your crew gathered around a brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living makes it happen. From kitchens to fire pits, they do it all. CSSFireplaces.com. You dream it, they build it.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Lauren Brooks. Here's something I love. Big Chief Tire actually rewards you for taking care of your car. When you buy tires, you're automatically part of their Extra Mile program. You'll get $10 off every oil change, free tire rotations, free air checks, and more every time you go in. It's simple, honest savings from a family-owned shop that puts customers first. Call 904-932-0950 or visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com. It's one less thing to worry about.
College football isn't just a season, it's a sisterhood. Bold Ladies is the women's membership group of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, where community, connection, and college football come together. This is Stacy from 1010XL, and I enjoy my membership. From exclusive events to networking, philanthropy, and unforgettable game day experiences, Bold Ladies is where women make an impact. Visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com and join today.
What if your next fun day out costs you $70 to play all day? That's exactly what you get at the Battalion Airsoft Arena, the only indoor airsoft battlefield in Jax. Skip the same old boring entertainment choices and step into real action with your crew. Perfect for birthdays, company team building, graduation parties, or just epic weekend fun. No experience, no problem. The Battalion package includes everything: gun, mask, and ammo with unlimited play. So lock in your mission now at BattalionAirsoftArena.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We haven't gotten to the NBA Finals that begin on Wednesday and or the Stanley Cup Final that begins tomorrow night, but time now for the Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They do a fantastic job taking care of any pest control issues at our house, as well as ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. So Adolfo Daniel Vallejo is today's Pest of the Day. He had to be fined $65,000 at the French Open. He's a tennis player because he was talking about the umpire who was a female. And he said after he lost his match, it was a very long 5-set battle that lasted nearly 5 hours. But he said that this sort of match needs to be umpired by a man.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, gosh.
If you think that, I suppose you're allowed to think that, but you just can't say it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Wow.
$65,000 for saying that.
Yeah.
That is correct.
That's weird. Like, why? What would a man have done different? I'm curious. Like, what do you mean by that?
I guess the crowd
Buddy.
was pretty loud and rambunctious, and he thought that like a male umpire would
handled
have
that
been
better.
able to, handle the crowd. But like,
Just win, you baby.
you
Blaming
play a
everybody
sport.
else. I can't stand the whole blame. You know, it wasn't
I don't like
me.
the blame
No,
game
it was
either.
you, buddy.
Exactly.
You lost. Coco Gauff got taken on it.
She
so,
did.
yeah.
She sure did. I did want to mention, in case you missed it earlier, FSU baseball did lose to St. John's, so FSU's regular season is over. And then, of course, tonight at 6 p.m., Florida takes on Troy. And that game determines if Florida wins. Florida will host the Super Regional, and that would be Little Rock coming to Gainesville next weekend. If Florida loses, then the season's over.
Stressful night for you.
Yeah,
Very
Little
stressful.
Rock's one of those mid-major. What are they?
I would assume so.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, they were able
Play
to
some
take care
baseball.
of.
They must play good baseball.
Yeah,
You know?
they really did this past weekend.
I wanted to share too. They announced that college football playoff has announced the kickoff times for the season for their playoff games. And this is going to be a wild weekend when it comes to football in general. So the week of December 14th, so Thursday, December 15th, you've got San Francisco at Seattle. On Saturday, December 17th, you've got Indy at Minnesota, Baltimore at Cleveland, Miami at Buffalo. But on December 18th, you have a whole slate of games. When it comes to the NFL, like 10 games that day. Also on December 18th, you're going to have the first game for the college football playoff.
Oh, wow.
And then on Monday, December 19th, you're going to have the Rams at Green Bay, and you're also going to have 3 college football playoff games. And then that next week, which is going to be, well, I guess the following, because there's a little lull, the week of December 28th. So Thursday, December 29th, you'll have Dallas at the Titans, no game that week. But then the 30th, you'll have the next round, the college football quarterfinal, the first game. But then on January 1st, you're going to have all of the rest of the NFL games pretty much. So 12 NFL games and 3 college football playoff games on January 1st.
This is when we were in Vegas one time for one of these December and a couple years ago, and the sports book is glorious when you're talking about needing to watch as many games as humanly possible.
Wow.
All at the same time.
Wild. Yeah, look at that week. So Arizona, Atlanta, whatever, but Chicago at Detroit, Denver at Kansas City. You've got Carolina at Tampa, Jacksonville at Houston, Minnesota at Green Bay, Rams at Chargers, Pittsburgh at Baltimore, and 3 college football playoff games that day.
I mean, you're going head to head with the big machine against the big machine. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will watch the college because they want to see it, but I know what I'm watching. I mean, I'd watch NFL over that. I would, especially if it's a big game.
There's a lot of them that day.
Yeah, interesting that. I don't know when else you do it. Why don't they just save it for Saturday and tell the NFL to leave Saturday
Well, the
alone?
problem is the NFL now is playing on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Sunday. So college football's like, well, we got to play at some point.
I guess. Wow. I wouldn't want to go head-to-head with them, from a programming
It'll be a fun December in football.
Yeah, a lot of ball.
Absolutely. Yep. Let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes Carline joins us now. Hayes, I saw you at practice. You were watching the video board at one point in time.
I love that thing. I mean, I hope it stays. And I'm assuming it was expensive, so I would think it does.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
I mean, it's awesome because, I mean, you literally get a replay of what they just did twice from a great angle. So, yeah, hopefully that's around all through training camp.
Yeah.
That'll certainly make life easier on us. So, but it's really, I mean, beyond us, it's cool that they get that instant teaching. And, Campanile was great when he was asked about it. He was like, it helps us. Sometimes we don't have the best vantage point, so I can immediately tell. And so just to have that feedback, instantaneously is really cool. So it's good to see them continuing to innovate. I don't know, maybe other clubs do this. I've never heard of it. So I don't know if this is something the Jaguars came up with on their own or if it's something that, my first guess would be that the Rams must do this, but I don't know. I've never seen anything.
Well, at least
about
you can
it,
see right away. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Campanile said they had one at Michigan.
Okay.
In Michigan.
In Michigan. That's what he said.
At least you can see right away whether he made a mistake or made a good point.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that would be helpful, right? If you were out there and just look right up.
Yeah.
And for the players like on the sideline, like even if you're not out there,
Right.
just to kind of get a quick peek of, anyway. So yeah, it was great being out there. They look good. I mean, it's to me, this could have been like a training camp day 6 where you put the pads on for a couple days and now you want to sort of just have more of like a walkthrough. So it's a toned down camp practice because they look like in rhythm. Like again, it doesn't mean anything. The key will be in rhythm in September, but it does look like you can tell they have been doing this for a while and that this is year 2. And so it's cool to see. So we'll certainly talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. I had a chance to talk with Josh Hines Allen after practice. So,
nice.
So we'll play that and we'll, talk about some college football, some NBA, and keep everybody updated on college baseball is a big one for the Gators tonight.
Yeah, you got that right. All right, thanks, Hayes.
Thank you.
We will be listening. And Josh Hines Allen, that'll be a great interview for everybody to listen to. Always has a ton of insight.
Yep.
For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.
Walk all over